All right, one morning some months ago, I woke up and I look outside at my car and I see that there's a parking ticket on it. And I'm like both angry and confused because I live on just like a residential street in West Philly. There's no parking restrictions. This is where I park every day. So I immediately grab my shoes, grab my coat, run outside, all like fuming and pissed off at the PPA, Philadelphia Parking Authority, right? Like, how dare they? I get outside and I notice that all my neighbors also have parking tickets. I'm like, what is going on? I get closer and I realize it's not a parking ticket. It is a flyer that some clever small business created to look exactly like a Philadelphia parking ticket. Like it was like a white envelope looking thing with like the blue bar with text. And I was pissed. I was pissed. Lucky for this business, I do not remember who they are or even what industry they're in. And I say it's lucky for them because that is not helpful advertising, okay? There's this terrible belief that all you need to do as a small business, like the main challenge is to get people's attention. And that's where like a lot of people's energy, it goes into getting attention. But then once you have that attention, like, is it a positive experience? And in the case of making me run outside in the morning and tricking me into thinking I had a parking ticket when I didn't, that was not a useful interaction. That was not something that makes me want to be like, oh, it got me, all right. Like now, like, how do I hire you? That doesn't work. What you're trying to do, yes, you need to capture attention, but more importantly, put your energy into building trust, into making that tiny little interaction in this super distracted world something that makes me notice you like in a positive light. So imagine if this business had, instead of printing these fake parking tickets, had printed out postcards that had 10 tips on how to, I don't know, maintain your home or prepare for your taxes or whatever this industry was. What if they had dropped a nice little postcard like that into my mailbox? That it was, clearly branded. There would be some call to action. If you need help, here's how to get in touch. But it would be a useful resource whether or not I became their client. That is something that actually would have caught my attention. That is something that would have made me think that's a nice gesture. That's how I encourage small businesses to think about their marketing. How can you be the most helpful? How can you stand out, not by being the loudest, but by being the most helpful?